say something. There's this gospel that I grew up with. When I gave my life to Christ in one of the oldest Pentecostal churches in Nigeria. And there's this gospel because when I gave my life to Christ, nearly at that time, I began to see problems and why people were not being helped. But this gospel was sold to us that it is not good works that take people to heaven. It is, so our Christian life must be only about heaven, not about problems, because it is not doing good things will not take you to heaven. So that has been, I think that is one of the greatest, I don't know where they got that message from. And the whole of that denomination believes this. And that thing is so strong. Some weeks ago, I posted something. You made a statement on the broadcast that a church started in Jerusalem, came to Europe and became strong, and went to Africa and is sick. I got so much attacks from this church that I belonged. In fact, I spent 1 week responding to messages until I was tired. I had to write. I said, I'm not going to respond to any post, any message again. Whatever you like, write. Let me have my peace. Because there's so much came at me hard, and because of this gospel of self, and everything is just opposite. So when I came to know you, I now began to see this church. And people are so zealous, so committed, so punctual, and they are useless to this society. So that gave me, I began to see like a prison. Friends of mine are still there till today. They are not making any impact in their world. And these are talented people who go to church. They come every 3 times in a week. And they don't miss these services 3 times, 4 times. Those who are workers, 3-4 times, and they are very constant. So this is the gospel. So how are we going to affect, how are we going to attack this way that people will, I mean, this gospel will be able to, sink in?
They are saying that we are not saved by works. Yeah, but we are already saved. So we are not talking about being saved. We are talking about manifesting Jesus, revealing Christ. But you see, when we live for ourselves, we die. What do you know where fences come from? In Nigeria, every house has a fence, big fence, long fence. Everybody is living at a different estate. Why? I want to live for myself, my comfort. I must shut you out. You are a nuisance. You are a problem. You are not good enough to come to my. So a whole society that is selfish like that will never see development. So we must remove selfishness from our psyche of our people and begin to see that real living, we think is enjoyment when I'm able to shut out everybody and put a fence, big fence, and shut out everybody. But it's not enjoyment though. But we must change the psyche of our people that enjoyment is when I just do good and live for. When we attain that level of civilization, then our development will be rapid, because every worker will know, if I'm not working to get salary, but to live, to be a blessing to other people. That the more quality of this work I do, the tiles, the painting, the building, the more quality I do it for people, the more I do my best. That's when I live. That's when I'm going to be. When our people, everybody, the teachers, the lawyers, the doctors, because people are dying in hospitals because you cannot, everybody's thinking selfish. What can I gain from it? What can I get? But if everybody will know that no, real blessing is in when you do things for others. That's what I live. You mean it? That's why churches are supposed to be doing, you see. But they are making us more selfish in churches. So we'll now take money to church as offering and tithe because I want God to multiply it 10 times. So it's all about selfishness. But I will not take that money and go and take care of the orphan or the widow, because that will not be multiplied. I'm not sure it will multiply. So our whole gospel and concept must change into the fact that no, Real life, is when you are. It is when you are giving. That's when you live, and you don't just live now. You live for time and eternity. So if we could pass this message across, then we will not be indifferent.
Yes.
Then there will be no apathy.
Yes.
Then there will be no, all those things we say, indifference, apathy, what are those?
Nonchalance, complacent,
disinterest. We will not have those ones. Because we will know that actually, so blessing is in doing things for others. So see it again.
What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. What we have done for others and the world remains and is immortal.
Who wants to live forever? This is how to live forever. And that's why only through love you go to heaven. People who go to heaven, they are immortal. And what takes them there is because of love. They love God and they love others. That means they live for God, they live for others. Love is giving, living for others. So they give their life to God, they give their life to people, they live immortally. They are eternal. But we think that we are going to church, we are going to be immortal, not because of love, but because I do religion. I go and sing and pray and do this. We need the gospel to be introduced to our continent. Okay, go ahead.
Next. Category 2. Those who noticed but decided it is none of their business. Go ahead.
So they saw problem, they see problem, but they just think it is none of their problem, okay? This is the second category of people that we have in the world.
Next. Those who noticed but decided it is none of their business. Men who look but don't see. Men who see physically but don't see mentally.
So what don't see here is different from the first category. This one see physically. You understand?
Yeah.
But they are not seeing the need to act, to provide solution. So they see physically, but they don't see mentally the goodness in resolving the problem. Yes.
Men who see on the surface, but don't see the depth.
See, they are the ones who say they are none of their business. Because if I see, like I've just told you now, that actually it's when I do things for others, I live eternally. That I'm immortal. That I've seen. That it's to my good, it's for my profit to live for others. Now, I'm not just seeing the need now physically, but I'm now seeing even the need to do things for others. Okay?
They see the issues as a matter of fact, but they don't see the need to respond to them.
So it's a philosophical thing. It's a value system thing. We need to change people's value system, understanding of life. That real life really is when I'm doing something for others. Now that will explain to you why my wife and my children will allow me to be doing all what I'm doing. Because they have understood that. That is real life. And that's what Christ did. He left heaven and he gave a life for others. And God told Abraham, I want to bless you, but only on one condition. You'll be a blessing to. So you are blessed to be a blessing. So the whole thing is not about you being blessed. It's about being a channel, being a blessing. So if you are not going to be blessed, you will not taste blessing. Okay?
They see the issues as a matter of fact, but they don't see the need to respond to them. That indeed is a greater tragedy than blindness.
Now, the blindness, the first ones are the blind people. They don't even see that something was wrong. And that's because of selfishness. But this one too is selfishness, but it's more chronic, is worse than selfishness. They don't see perspective. They are seeing the problem, but they don't see the need to respond to it. It's worse than those people who don't see the problem. Okay, go ahead.
Next. Who is a sound person? A sound person mentally and spiritually does not just notice the situation on the ground. A healthy person finds ways of fixing the situation. A sound person will not pass by a need. That is a lesson Jesus was trying to teach us in the story of the Good Samaritan. Next. A person of action.
So you people know what I mean by sound, Healthy, yes. Sound,
yes.
Normal.
Yes.
So we should teach our society that it is abnormal not to respond to life situations. You are sick, you are not sound, you are not healthy. If you could pass by the needy, you are sick. You are sick. And those kind of sick people, they don't go to heaven. You know, God told the man and said, the priest who passed by in the story of the Good Samaritan is not going to heaven. And then the other one, the Levite, also is not going to heaven. They are sick. If you cannot respond to the need of humanity, see the need of others and respond to it, you are sick. You are not healthy. You are not normal. And these are the kind of things that must be returned to our society. That all healthy people respond. They see. They do something about what they say. Go ahead.
A sound person is a person of responses. It's a proactive person. If somebody walks into the room where he is the first to stand up and get a chair for the visitor. He is the first to ask about the welfare of the people in need. If a sound man is driving down the street, he would not pass by the poor woman with tears in her eyes. He will park his jeep beside the road and ask the poor lady what he could do to help her.
Every car in Nigeria will be stopping. Because there are so many needy, but nobody stops. Go ahead.
There is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. John Holmes.
Is that not beautiful? Is that not beautiful?
It is.
Is that not beautiful?
It is.
Now let's say that again. There is no
Exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up.
No better exercise. But in my country, people don't hug other people like this. But this is lifting people up right here. Going down, especially if you are high. You see, it's all about who can go down, reaching down, who can go down, who can reach down. It's somebody who is comfortable, who is higher.
Yes.
But those ones who are higher in our place or where I come from are the ones, it's like a taboo for you to go down. Like this, my brother now. Come. I was using him as an example just now, and I was trying to hug him and trying to talk with the same child, and he's scared. Because he's not used to people who are high up to be bowing down to him, or to be honoring him, or to be seeing themselves as equal to them. And this is another thing that has to be broken in our society. People who are up there, it must be the norm. We must teach them that there is the best of life, better living is when you come. You know, in my country, you are up there, everybody must be buying. You do it the way they do it in Africa. Yes, sir. I can, sir. I can, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you know what it does? You know what it will do? A big man, he will say, yeah. How are you? But that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. But the normal one is who is not bad also, but it's not too good. It's not too kind. It's just normal. Most people will say, okay, you do the same. Greet me as usual. Hi, how are you? Where is the telephone? Okay, you be doing it again. Sunday, how are you? How is Mama? How is Mama? How is okay, you give us Saturday. Yes, sir. Yes. Okay. Okay. So what do you want? Yes, sir. Give us. Okay, yeah. I just give it. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the thing. If you have been to Africa before, you know I'm not telling lies.
It's true.
Is it not true?
Absolutely true.
They even enjoy that he is buying like the and he's just doing. They are just doing vanity. Okay, there's another one who will be. That's another category. Another category will be doing this. Okay, you will be doing. Hello, hi. Hello, you keep on saying. Yes, how are you? Hello, how are you? This is the culture I come from. They have not been told that that's not greatness. That's not being big. That being small.
Jesus.
I have a lot of small people in my country who people are calling big. I'm saddened by it. And it's time for us to change the mindset of our people and to teach them that no, what makes you great is your ability to go down and be a support system. I mean, he was in heaven. He came down, took upon himself the image of ordinary man, and became a slave to save ordinary that man. And that's why he was exalted and was given a name greater than any other name. There is, yes. There is no greater, better exercise than reaching
Down.
and lifting people up. You know why? There's no greater exercise. It's not just because you are trying to be good, you are kind. No. It's because that person you have lifted up. Okay. I'm going to lift her up. But by lifting her up, just hugging her, just being good to her, just hugging her, or just giving her a high five even, or just supporting her anyhow. Yes. Anyhow I lift anybody up. Yes. Immediately, anybody you lift up, the reason why it's the greatest exercise is that you have just lifted God up. Anytime you lift a man up, you lift God up. Because God is not in heaven. God is in people.
Yes.
And anybody you lift up is God. Because he carries the image of God himself. So that madman that everybody was passing by, they just passed by God. But by lifting that crazy man, that madman up, they have lifted God up. It's an opportunity to lift God up. It's an opportunity to reach out to God. That's why Jesus said, I was the one who was naked and you didn't clothe me. It's not the madman that was naked. Because every human being, including the madman, is carrying the image of God. When you put a man down, you put God down. When you lift a man up, you lift God up. No better opportunity, no better life. So the reason why there is no greater life than to go down and pick people up is because when you do that, you pick the greatest of all up. You pick God up. So if God gives you the privilege to pick other people up, it's just like saying God has given you the privilege to go and be picking Jesus, to go and give a hand to Jesus. All of us will get crazy to do it. But you have that opportunity every day. Because human being, anyone, is the image, carries the image of God. When you lift a man up, you lift God up. But when you put a man down, you put God down.
Good everyone. Like ever since I came in yesterday, I've been quiet a bit. I'm just like observing what is going on. And when I came in and when I saw Pastor Sunday Adelaja, I felt like crying. But it has been difficult for me to like shed tears, but I've been crying in my heart that is it me that is seeing him? Like, is it me that is communicating with him? Yes, I was thinking, like, I don't know what to say. But, like, there is no love in the Christianity that most of us have been practicing. Like, when I was in Belarus, as I met Christ, I have this, like, desire to, help people. Because most of us, we proclaim Christ, that we believe in Christ, but we are not practicing it. But I, at least by the grace of God, I try to practice it. So people are attracted to me. And later in the church, when we were doing workers' meeting, they said that everybody is open to, everybody is coming to you. That means you are compromising, that's why. That was how they saw it. That people were attracted to me, both the Muslims, because of the kind of life I'm living. So it became a problem whereby I try to like live for myself, but it's difficult. But you know, I say that what I was doing was the right thing, and by the grace of God, I will continue to live the love of Christ. Thank you very much.
Now, you are thinking. Wait. You came in since yesterday and you said you have been thinking, am I really the one standing before Pastor Sunday, right? Am I really the one seeing this man face to face? But you are not just the one seeing him face to face. That same person you are thinking, I'm crying for 2 days, I'm thinking, am I the one? Isn't this happening to me? That same person you are crying that you are seeing face to face is the one bowing down to you today. And is the one hugging you. Because you are not inferior to him, yes. And you are not inferior to any man.
Yes.
You are the same as him. He's your brother.
Yes.
He's the same blood, the same father as you. You are not inferior to him.
Yes.
You are not less than him. We are the same Son of God. You know, I bow down to the God in you, so it's not a problem for me. I can do it. I can do it. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I have a personal story that I would like to share based on what we just saw about seeing the need and responding to it. The community where I come from in Nigeria, we have a lot of religious crises. I mean, if you're familiar with Nigeria in the north, that's a common problem that we have. And I had opportunity to visit home in 2015. And I went home and I saw the problem. There was so many destruction in my community, and it got to a point that the Christians were living in a separate area of the city and the Muslims are living apart. And I went back to the US. I was really bothered by what I saw, because everybody talks about it, but nobody is doing anything to fix the problem. So I said, I must do something about it. I didn't allow the fact that I live far away from home to prevent me from doing it. So I started doing peace and conflict resolution seminars. Then I organized a major football tournament, which comprises about 6 local governments in that area. And that is the real deal breaker, because there was nothing that brings the Christians and Muslims together. They have their market, the Christians have their market, the Muslims have their market.
Wow.
They live separate area. There was nothing bringing them together. But when I did that tournament, I put a lot of money into it, and the prices made it so attractive. And that was one event that brought everybody together. They start interacting. In fact, there's a local government that actually nicknamed me as the man of peace. And I got all kind of awards from people that say, this is one thing that has actually brought us together. But people talk about it, nobody did anything about it. So that was really an experience that I love to share.
Thank you. The greatest exercise, the greatest kind of life is to always let God make you somebody who is been placed in a place that you will be able to come down to meet others. It's a privilege, it's a trust. Because anytime you go down to reach to others, you should be thanking God that you are not the one somebody is coming down to pick up. And then no matter how low you are, you can see God low to meet others. It's a privilege. It's always a privilege. It's always a privilege. And that's what we should teach our people, that is the joy of life. That's the source of joy. Not what I have for myself and keep for myself, give to myself, but what I can give to others. Okay.
Next. What is better, to give excuses or to respond? Some individuals will come up with an excuse that if I stop to help a person, it could be an armed robber, or something bad could happen.
You know, in my country, that is always the excuse. That's always the excuse.
Can you imagine the Good Samaritan refusing to stop by the bloody victim?
Because the armed robbers might still be around.
Might be because he was afraid. We can always find excuses, but it is better to find an argument to be a real person. Next. On a lighter note, a real man notices not just the big issues of life, like the challenges, the troubles, and the sorrows.
You know, some people, they are only doing big things. They are only noticing, no, they are too busy to notice that today is the anniversary of the woman's husband's death, for example, and somebody's father's death. They will not notice small things like that. Or they will not notice that you have a new hairstyle or a unique hairstyle. They will not notice that. They will not notice because they are too big. But it's still part of smallness. If you are really a man of big heart, you notice small things too. Okay?
A real man will notice seemingly insignificant things like other people's dress code, hairstyle, suits, haircuts, style, pleasant images, etc., and compliment them for their efforts.
You know, in our culture, it's not even like appreciated for you to be complimenting people. But we must change that culture.
Their heart is large enough to accommodate not just humans, but nature as well.
Okay?
You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you. John Byrne.
Is that not beautiful? Is that not beautiful? Yeah. Let's say that again.
You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you.
Is that not beautiful?
Very beautiful.
If you live a day without doing something for somebody that cannot repay you back, you have not lived. That is why I personally am a proponent of using your tithe and offering. Instead of giving it to the church, go and use it and find somebody who cannot repay you back. I'm a strong proponent of that. Go, that's when you live full life. Oh. Every day find it. Being happy that there are people everywhere or somewhere who are being touched just because you are alive. And it doesn't take much. Maybe it's a smile. Maybe it's a compliment. Maybe it's a good word. Maybe some shaking change. But nevertheless, you have not lived any day if you have not done something for someone who cannot repay you back. And that person must be someone who is not related to you. Go ahead.
Why second category is worse than the first category?
Remember, the first category are the people who didn't see problem. The second category are the ones who saw it, but they just think they don't have, it's not their business.
The second category actually see the need, but they don't see the need to respond to it. Their eyes in this case become useless, redundant, and a waste. Why second category is worse than the first category? 2. When you saw a need, yet you refuse to see the need to respond, you are actually unscrupulous. When a man is unscrupulous, it means he lacks moral compass. He is not a man of justice. He is not sincere with himself.
So when you see things and you don't find arguments to respond and to do something about it, you are not just selfish, but you don't have morals. Your morals don't have compass. You don't have stability. You know, the way compass works. If you go anywhere you put compass, if you put it like this, you will point to the north. If you put it like this, to point to the north. If you put it like this, to point to the north. If you put it like this, to point to the north. Compass. You know, you have value system that make your action and your life predictable. You do the right thing at the right time. If you don't respond, you don't have moral compass. So you are moved by emotions, or you are moved by selfishness, or you are blind, or you are indifferent. You don't have, what is our compass? Our compass is that I must respond the way Christ would have responded. That's my compass. So anywhere I am, where I am, I'm responding like Christ. Anywhere, whatever it happens, I'm responding like Christ. That's a compass. North, always points to the north. Okay?
A real man in God's eyes.
So who is a real man in God's eyes? A real personality.
Will concern himself with every challenge of his community and even nation. A real man in God's eyes, if he cannot resolve the issue at hand,
No, a real man in God's eyes will concern himself
with every challenge of his community and even nation.
Now, it might not be your calling. You might not be able to respond to it, but at least you've noticed it, and then you might point that thing out to people who might be able to respond to it. You might make a noise about it or say something about it. That means you're a personality. I mean, that's what brought me to them to know Dr. Abrams. Because I'm saying this man is like me. I mean, he's responding. But I come from a country of almost 200 million people. You think I've seen any other people doing that? Because he's not just responding to, he's not, you see every minute you see a Nigerian saying something in the YouTube or Facebook. Every minute. But you know what they are all doing? They are talking religion. They are opening the Bible. But now, unless they are opening the Bible to talk religion, most of them are just praying. Some prayers. But nobody is really talking about what the issues. Nobody is talking about what's happening in the country, all the problems. Nobody is addressing anything. They are either addressing God, preaching for people to just do the Bible, or they are praying, God, to come and do something. Nobody is living here. Nobody is from here. Nobody is from the earth.
Some are discussing Chelsea and Manchester football.
No, I don't even come across those ones.
I've seen a lot. Christians.
They are there, eh?
Yes.
I don't even know those ones.
They even have blocks.
Is that so?
Yes.
Okay, I've not even come across those ones yet. But the ones I see normally are the ones who are always doing one kind of prayer or the other. And they have varieties of them, all those prayers. Or they are preaching message, God message, Bible, religion, or doing church. But when I saw a human being, a Nigerian, talking about issues of Nigeria and how to be better and the country better, and we have 200 million in that country. I mean, we are supposed to have at least 1 million talking about issues of the country.
Sure.
It's even difficult to see one. So, because we are not real men. So, who does God see as real men? As real personality? Who does God see as a human being? A human being is somebody that responds. A human being in God's eyes is not that you have 2 legs, that you qualify to be a human being. A human being is not because you have 2 eyes or you have a wife or 2 children. A human being in God's eyes, somebody that concerns himself with the challenge of his world. That's what Jesus is. Jesus is the picture, the example, the ideal of a human being. And what does he do? He responded to the needs of the earth, to the needs of the man, of man. That is the picture of an ideal man. So for you to be a man, you have to measure you by Christ's picture. So if you don't respond like him, you cannot be defined like him too. And if he is the perfect man and you are behaving like him, you are a man too. But if you are behaving the opposite, you are not related to him. You are not a human being, even though you have 2 legs. So what makes a man is not the fact that he has 2 legs or 2 eyes or something one knows. Is that he has like a mind. And how do we know the way a man is supposed to act? See the way the ideal man acted. The original man. And he responds to the need he saw. That's why he left heaven, the comfort zone, to respond and meet the need of humanity. So my challenge to all of us, and these history makers, that's why I'm calling these history makers. These are personalities that we will become human, we will become man, according to God's definition and according to God's standard. Okay?
A real man in God's eyes, if he cannot resolve the issue at hand, he at least does something about what he sees. He would maybe set up an organization, social group, NGO to address the problem. Write an article, write a book, or start a blog.
You see why in our church here we have over 3,000 NGOs now. Now you can see. Because people have been taught well. You don't bypass a situation or a problem. Everybody must have something, that a platform that is used to address, to change something in the world. Because we're real men. And when I get to Nigeria, I'm going to set up, by the grace of God, 10,000 NGOs. But my goal before I die, I will help people to set up 1 million NGOs. That's 1 million problems have been addressed by different people. And it's not me. I will not have any name there, or I will not just inspire people to become human beings. Can you imagine if 1 million people, 1 million Nigerians, we have 1 million NGOs registered addressing different situations? I will be ready to go to home.
Oh,
I'll be ready to go home.
hallelujah. Hallelujah.
But the churches are supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be doing this. The churches are supposed to be talking about this. But don't worry, we are going to revive the churches, and we are going to set up a new understanding of Christian faith.
Amen.
Okay?
How wrong is it to be indifferent? Is it wrong to be complacent? Is it wrong to live in self-satisfaction? It is rather healthy according to... Oh, sorry, let me take it again. How wrong is it to be indifferent? It is wrong to be complacent. It is wrong to live in self-satisfaction. It is rather healthy, according to God, to always respond to the issues around us. We must let the challenges in our immediate environment affect, touch us.
We must do that intentionally. You know, so what some people do is that if their father was an alcoholic, they feel the burden for alcoholics because somebody has suffered, or they have suffered that. If they have divorced, then they sense pain, they feel compassion for people who are divorced. If their child has died, they feel some pain for people. What is that? That is responding. That is not being human. Being human is to, for example, we have all these alcoholics and drug addicts that have been set free. You think I never knew anybody who was drug addict or alcohol in my life. Don't wait till the tragedy happens, and then that will be stimulus. And stimulus is something that is used for animals. You have to come this way, we beat him. You have to do something. You have to inflict him. You have to, no, that is reflect. You have to do something for him to reflect. But that's not human. Humans are supposed to react and act by values, through understanding, not because something happened. Oh, reflect. Okay, for example, Benita. What was that? That's reflection. That is reaction. She's called, she came. But human beings are supposed to do things because they understand, they have understanding of it. Because they have value system that is making them to act. So they initiate action. But animals, you tell, oh. So we don't respond to life and be kind because you lost your mother. So now I understand. I also lost my mother when I was no. But because you saw that it's a need, you respond to it. You don't just respond that, okay, you need to take care of that widow because, your mother also was a widow. No. Don't live by responses. Live by being a human, understanding of who you are. You are God's representative here. You reach out to the less people, not because, for anything. No, because that's who you are. That's what we need to understand in our Christian life. Some people say, oh, I give tithe. Oh, I have to do that because God will punish. No. Because you love God. You have to become somebody. A personality does things because it's informed. A personality does things because that's who he is. So, for example, we just read now that when you go reach out to somebody who is lower, then you leave. We just read also that if you don't do something for somebody that cannot repay you back, then that's when you leave. So when you know those things, that's been informed. So those things become your value systems, that I live to live others. That's my value system. So it's because of it's your value system. You do it, either they repay you, they don't repay you,
Yeah.
either they say thank you, they didn't say thank you, either you ever suffered that thing before or you never suffered it before. That is just who you are. I live to make others better. To make others better. That's why I respond to all the needs around. That's who a personality is.